chime in on anything that I leave out.
I will not.
What's going on, guys? It's the first podcast of the new year. Nick says it's episode 10. And I was asking, when was the last time we did this? He said it was all the way back in November. So I guess we took the holidays off or something. But we've been working hard and putting things together for you guys. And we have a lot going on. If you've been following the Facebook page, you know that we are how many days out, Nick?
We are 11 days out.
11 days out right now from Sprint 1 Goin Coastal. So if you guys have done our boomerang and you've been following the page and you know about us, you know that we're going to do rallies that are multiple days, multiple experiences and stuff. And our first event was the Speedway Boomerang. That's where we're going to go down and back for one day, take the whole day and do something really cool. Well, this stuff is the stuff's cool, but we wanted to do something different. So we came up with the idea of doing these things called sprints. It's not a race, it's a rally, but it's all about the drive, honestly. When we did the boomerang, you get a really cool experience in there. Like we went down and we put your cars on Daytona International Speedway. And when we do our bigger rallies, we're going to be going to cities and partying and doing cool stuff out there. But back to just the driving and the spirited drive. So we put these things together. They're not going to take multiple days. They're not going to take the full day. They're not going to cost you anything. I mean, they're $20, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we put these things together, and what we wanted to do to make it special is maybe take you on roads that you haven't been on before or that you wouldn't typically go on. And so Nick and I drove around. We looked at Google Maps and everything, but we actually drove around and we found some really pretty roads, honestly. I've lived in Jacksonville for 14 years, and I've never driven what we're going to do until several weeks back when Nick and I did it. So the whole idea of these sprints, they're handpicked. I mean, they really are special routes that we put together. When we did our boomerang, I mean, we hit the highway. And you say it again, you crazy sons of bitches. We got down to Daytona in record time, but it wasn't about the commute. It was about getting to Daytona and doing something cool. And it's all about the drive. So we really worked hard to put together this special route. It's going to be really, really beautiful.
And the method
about what's that?
So the method for when we put together our boomerangs is we look at what destination can we go to that has an awesome experience, and the getting there we'll figure out later. It's where do we want to go. For this, we said we want the drive to be the main star. So we literally mapped it out and took. I told my wife I'd be gone for 2 hours. I was gone for like 9 that day. Where we drove around, but we really wanted to focus on the drive, and there's going to be some cool stuff along the way. For Sprint 1, we're going to see the Amelia Island Lighthouse, which is a historic landmark in Northeast Florida that a lot of people haven't been to. So there's going to be some cool stuff, but we're really focusing on the drive and the scenery and really showing you what Florida is all about.
Yeah, you said something that was awesome, but I want to point out he's not wrong when we were gone for however many hours he just said, but the sprint is not that many hours.
Right.
You'll be done with this right after lunchtime. So you don't need to commit, your whole day to this. You don't need to plan on how you're going to pay for this or any of that. We tried to make it as simple as possible and just make it quick and really enjoy it. So the reason it took us that long is because we're just wandering around and we're like, well, hang on, back up, go back there. What would happen if we turned right here? What would happen if we went this way? Nick even found a road that was, son of a bitch, Nick, it was supposed to just loop right around, and that never happened. Even though I said, Nick, that's a dead end sign. No, keep going. It's going to loop.
Well, listen, at least where the dead end was, there was a sign that said, enjoy the view. Just please don't park here. So we got to at least see a cool view of the river. So
yeah. So yeah, and all my hard work here, I did get to sit at a dead end road with Nick and look out at the view.
You're right.
It was like make that point.
You tried to get handsy, but I wouldn't let you. So
yeah. So anyways, it took us that long because we really did put a lot of thought into this, and we really did pick the best roads we could find. So let's talk about that a little bit without us giving it away right now. So the plan is February 9th. That's the second Saturday in February, which means Cars and Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So we always go to Cars and Coffee. We're going to go to Cars and Coffee that morning. I think technically Cars and Coffee goes to like 10:30, 11 o'clock, I think. But what we're going to do is we're going to break off from that parking lot where everybody gathers, and we're going to go meet somewhere else right there in the parking lot away from everybody else and get everybody checked in. So we'll leave from Cars and Coffee about 10:30, and we're going to hit the road. And we've got, a special route that we're going to follow to get out there. So when everybody gets there, we're just going to make sure that we've got you on our list. We're going to make sure that you are who you say you are. No one's taking your spot. And we're going to give you a folder. So that's something new that we're doing for you. We're going to put together a folder for you guys. It's going to have the full schedule, itinerary, the route, and a couple other things in it. We've actually been working on those the past couple days. So that'll be cool. Another thing, if you were on Speedway Boomerang, that we're going to do differently, we're going to have the ability to talk to everybody while we are on the route. So one of the complaints, and the only complaint, and I'm pretty proud of this complaint, one of the only complaints we had from Speedway Boomerang was, God, I wish we could have kept the cars group together. Well, I can't. And people were driving crazy going down there, but that's part of the fun. It's part of the thrill and part of the rush and all that. So what we have is, and we'll talk to you guys about it when we get there the morning of for Sprint 1, we have a way for everyone to stay in touch, and only us. It's literally like walkie-talkies. So when you're on the route, if you're looking for someone specific, you'll be able to shout them out, talk to people, whatever. We'll be able to call out hazards, call out directions. If someone gets turned around, we'll be able to call out cops. Not saying we're going to be speeding. It's not a race. It's a rally. We're going to be driving the speed limit, but we can call things out like that to each other. So that's going to be really cool. I think that is going to be a way that even if we get a little bit gapped and separated, it's going to keep us together. And so
let me just add one thing about the speeding. So we did get a couple people pulled over. No, we didn't. Some people who were on the Speedway Boomerang did get pulled over.
Nick, we didn't do a damn thing.
Listen, I was sitting in a passenger seat. I didn't do nothing. But that's people were going triple digits in a 70 and got pulled over. Just know that with the sprints, we're taking some back roads and the speed limits are going to be a lot lower. So this is not a race. If you're going to be doing triple digits, you're going to be putting yourself in a real bad spot. So just know that, like, we are not telling you to go fast. We are telling you to cruise. These are cruises, not a race.
Yeah. It's all about the drive for these. And there's a time and a place for all that stuff. And we're doing our best to bring it to you. So like, when you want to drive like a crazy person, we're trying to book tracks for you as we speak, and we'll put you on tracks where you can drive that way. This is all about the drive. So we're going to meet that morning at Cars and Coffee. We're going to head out to A1A, and we're going to head north. That may be something you've done a lot here in Jacksonville. That's not the cool part. We're going to cut off A1A and take some back roads and go all the way up to the Mayport Ferry. The back roads we're taking, honestly, even there's something special, because if you're just in the daily commute, okay, maybe you daily drive your car like I do. You just drive your normal route to and from work every single day, right? And then on the weekends, you might take your car to your typical cruise-ins and car meets and all that. So even some of these back roads we're using are going to be something different. It's going to be refreshing, and it's going to be really cool. So we're going to go up to the Mayport Ferry. Again, I've lived in Jacksonville 14 years. I've never taken the Mayport Ferry. I've never had to, but I've also just never done it. So this is going to be really cool when you think about it. If you've not done it before, you've not experienced it, it's kind of cool. You just drive your car into a freaking boat and it takes you across the river. So that'll be cool. And then from there, we're going to go up, and honestly, some of this is so Florida, it's not even funny. I mean, you're literally driving over water. You're driving over sand. You're driving, and you don't need an off-road vehicle, but I mean, the roads are like right there on the beach and right there on the water and stuff like that. But there's other parts of this that you're not even going to feel like you're in Florida. I mean, and you guys have seen some of the pictures we've been posting on Facebook and on Instagram, but like literally just driving through tunnels of trees with canopies, and it's really something special, and it's beautiful. So I've been to the St. Augustine Lighthouse. I've never been to the Amelia Lighthouse. So we're going to go up there, and then it officially ends when we get there. So from there, you get home however you want to. You take the ferry back. You can jump over on I-95. You can stay there and hang out in Amelia and Fernandina area. You do whatever you want. How is it you've been wording it, Nick? officially, unofficially?
Yeah, one thing I know that we're going to do, you and I, and I'm sure a lot of people who go on this sprint are going to want to do is the the unofficial official lunch spot is Brett's Waterway Cafe. So when you're up by the Amelia Island Lighthouse, you go back out and you hang a right, and there's just like this amazing downtown area, this little historic downtown with this awesome restaurant, Brett's Waterway Cafe, and that's where we're going to be heading up for lunch, and then who knows, we'll probably just walk around downtown.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be really cool. So your lunch is not included with the sprint. So just, you can come if you want, but Nick and I ate there when we got a little turned around up there and when we wasted a little too much time up there, but it's a really cool spot. Hopefully it won't be as cold as it was when we
It was
went.
freezing. It was so windy that day.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I'd love to sit out on the actual water, which is super windy, but it's going to be a good time. So again, you know about our boomerangs, you know about our rallies. So the idea of the sprint was just, let's not take the whole day. Let's just get out and do something cool and make it all about the drive. So that's what we've done with these. And we're almost sold out, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few slots left. So this is limited to 30. And you're sitting there thinking, well, it's just a drive. So why is it limited to 30? Well, because there's a boat there and you can only have 30 cars on the boat. So, and actually she said 30-ish. And the ish was because if you have some larger vehicles, obviously they take up more space. And we got some big ones coming.
Yeah, we got Team 4-Door Mafia, which is two, 4-door Ram trucks.
Yeah. So we're close to a sellout right now.
Right.
And Kevin and Team 4-Door Mafia, they're not making it any easier for you to get in on this thing because they're taking up a lot of space on the boat. But it's going to be awesome. We're close to a sellout, just a handful of slots left. And I don't know, we're really excited, 11 days out. So if you guys have any questions, go to genesisrally.com. All the information's there. And if you have any questions, reach out to us on the Facebook page. So I told you guys, that we wanted to make this about the drive and we talked a little about the boomerangs and stuff, but more about kind of like why we do this. Whenever you go to a car show, a cruise in, if you're in a car club like I am, I mean, one of the coolest parts, honestly, like you get to the car show and I'm going to get a lot of crap for this, but not to bash car shows, but you park your car and you're just like, right? But one of the coolest parts for me was when you meet up like with your car club before the car show and you've got like 20, 30 of these cars driving there together. Like that was, to me, like that was the highlight, it was just something really cool. And this is something that we wanted to make Genesis Rally bring you that feeling all the time and let you do things that you weren't able to do. But another reason is I found that when I started getting into car clubs and doing these drives and everything, you really do get really close with the people that you're around. And so Nick and I found a way to do this and offer it to everyone and bring it to people at a price that only we can bring it to them at. And we always say like, yeah, we're like family and we're going to get close and everything. But something happened and I want to share it with you guys. And I told Nick the story. It's awesome. But when we did the poker run, which was awesome, Kevin and Jacksonville area Mopars did their poker run on the 19th and raised $1,600 for Homes for Our Troops. So that was awesome. But while we were there, I was just a participant. I ran into a guy named James. And James, you may have met him on Speedway Boomerang 1. He's got this sick Challenger SRT, a black one with red stripes on it. And I ran into him and we were talking and swapping stories and I mentioned somebody and he goes, yeah, he's a good dude. And the person was Darius. And Darius was on the first Speedway Boomerang. And I said, yeah, he's a good dude. And he got very serious. We went from laughing, exchanging stories. He got very serious. He goes, no, he's the best. I said, yeah, no, he's a really good guy. And he goes, from the Speedway Boomerang, I met 4 or 5 guys that day that I still talk to this day. And not just talk to them to this day, talk to them every day. We stay in touch. We hang out. We talk. We are really close. He said some of the best guys I've ever met in my life, I met on the Boomerang. And that was so cool. I'm getting freaking goosebumps. That was so cool because we did this to bring people together that you may not have ever met this person before. You may think, man, we got nothing in common, but everyone on these events, whether it's 30 people, whether it's 100 people, you all have that one thing in common already when you get out there. And you establish, like, I knew it from doing it myself, doing rallies, doing car shows, but you really do establish a bond that you really can't describe. And maybe it's the fact that you're going 90, 100, 120 miles an hour and you're learning to communicate with people without using any words. I'm learning this guy's driving style. I'm learning his driving habits and his behaviors and all that. And then you get to the next stop and you get out and you're laughing and smiling and high-fiving each other without even saying anything because you know what you just did together. But it really is something special and it's something awesome. And if you missed out on the first one, you definitely want to jump in on the sprint because everyone's got their own rally story, and it really is awesome stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool to hear that story too, because I mean, you and I talked about it before the Speedway Boomerang. We talked about it on podcast. The night of Speedway Boomerang, like after the Speedway part where we were over at Aromas, we talked about how there's a different feeling now with that group because we all did something together and it's just awesome. So it's really cool to hear that there are. Granted, it was only a few months ago, but you don't talk to somebody every day for just a few months unless there's a long-lasting relationship that's going to be there. So it's really cool to hear that, through our event, some connections were made and, hopefully these guys stay friends forever. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And James, I mean, there's a bunch of people that have told me similar things. James is just the most recent. I mean, it was last week we were doing the poker run together. That's why I kind of put him on the spot and shared his story, but it really is cool. So we're excited about this sprint. We had a blast doing it ourselves when we were kind of putting it together, and I'm really looking forward to it on February 9th. And we're already working on number 2, number 3, number 4. We're going to do these every single month because they are so cheap and they are so special. And so every time we do a sprint, you can count on a really awesome drive. You can count on it being quick and not taking up your whole day, and you'll get your folder and all your information for it and everything every time we do it. So we're not going to tell you what Sprint 2 is yet. We're gonna announce it probably. When did we say we were gonna announce it?
We're gonna announce it the morning of Sprint 1, or if Sprint 1 sells out. So if it sells out completely before we go on it, we'll announce Sprint 2. But if not, it'll be the day February 9th is when we're gonna announce Sprint 2. And there's some cool stuff in store for that one.
Yep. It'll be awesome. So be on the lookout for that. And then Speedway Boomerang 2. That's happening again. I mean, everyone had a good time and was immediately, I mean, not the next day, not the next week, like that night at the after party. So what are we doing next? When are we doing it again? And so we went ahead and we put it together, and it's going to be better. It's going to be a lot better. Slightly different, but it's going to be better. You want to tell them about it?
Yeah. So we're going to do this one in October. So October 5th. 2019 is the date. We're going to start at noon instead of 10:45. I think we started the last one, but we're going to start at Pusser's Caribbean Grill again. By all accounts, it was awesome. The parking situation was actually really cool. The food was great. The atmosphere was great. So we're going to start there again. This time when we leave there, we're going to head south, but we're going to take the loop over in New Smyrna. It's a famous drive with canopy roads. They go through some swamp areas. They go through some giant mansion houses. It's a really famous and popular drive called the Loop. It's about 35 miles. So that's going to be cool just to experience that. At the end of the Loop, we're going to continue down to the Daytona International Speedway, where we're going to do the same lap situation again. We're going to do 3 parade laps. It's going to include the infield section, which was so freaking cool. The first time around, it's amazing. How we got up to just a little over 100 on the backstretch. I don't know how fast we were going on the infield track, but man, it is cool making some of those corners. And so we're going to do that again. So 3 laps on the track with your car. And then when that's over, we're going to rally back to Jacksonville and we're going to end at Aromas. Same deal, man. We're going to get an awesome house cigar from Aromas. There's going to be some great food that you can get if you want. If you're hungry, we're going to do some prizes again. It's going to be similar but different, better, and here's the best part: it's a little bit cheaper. The Speedway Boomerang 1, the regular price I think was $175 and some change. This one, because we're not doing the tour, we're able to save a little bit of money. offer you a lot of the same great experiences, but it's only going to be 150 for right now. It's the early bird pricing. It's 150. Normal price is 164.99. So we're saving a little bit of money, and if you get in early, you save even more money.
Yeah, and that Ormond Loop, man, we were looking into this, and it is so cool because once again, 1 second you're driving butt up against the water on the coast, and the next second you're driving underneath oak trees and Spanish moss, and it's old Florida. If you look into it, you're going to see old Florida over and over and over again, the way they describe it, and it's just awesome. So we're excited about that too. Other stuff, we have decals available. If you were on Speedway Boomerang 1, you probably saw my car all wrapped and decaled up and everything, and people were asking about those. Those are available. If you go to genesisrally.com, we've got the full logo, the name, and all the stuff exactly how you saw it on my car. It is available there, and you guys can go get it. I think that's just about it, guys. I mean, this thing's I'm telling you, a handful of spots left, and if we get big trucks like Kevin's bringing to the party right now, there's not going to be any room, and we'll have to sell it out quicker. So there's only a few spots left of Sprint number 1. Boomerang 2 is on sale, and be on the lookout, because if this thing sells out, Sprint 2 is going to be announced immediately and made available. So guys, do us another favor. Share our page, invite people to like our page, because everyone is in a car group. Everyone's in different forums and stuff like that, and everyone's got friends that they meet up with at these cars and car shows and cruise-ins and stuff, and we want to grow our following even more. We want to get more variety of cars out at our events. So do us a favor and just share the page, or tag people on some of the posts, or invite them to like the page, and just help us out in that way.
Yeah, on the Speedway Boomerang, we had a pretty good mix of cars. We had some Chevys, we had a couple Fords, we had a lot of Mopars. Well, on Sprint 1, there's even more Mopars. And we're happy to have the Mopars, but where's everybody else at? Where are the Mustangs? Where are the Camaros? Where are the Corvettes? We've got a couple BMWs on this one, but where are the Audis? Where are the Volkswagens? Where's everybody at?
The Mustangs and the Corvettes are the ones that kill me, because those guys will talk more shit than anybody on the planet until it's time to actually drive the cars, and then it's just crickets.
And here's what's going to happen. We're going to be at Cars and Coffee on February 9th, and all of a sudden, at the time that we tell everybody, you're going to hear about 30 cars all start up, and they're all going to roll out, and people are going to be like, "Where the heck's everybody going?" And we're all going to be going to the same spot, and all those Mustangs and the Corvettes and the Camaros, and they're all going to be like, what's happening? How do we get in on that? How can we be part of it? That's going to be cool, because no one's going to know what's going on. All of a sudden there's a mass exodus. But so if you know somebody who drives really anything, that would be interested, tag them, tell them to come on to this thing. Especially if they're in the car scene, in Jacksonville.
I'll do you one better. Nominate them. Just message us and be like, "Hey, so and so drives a blank, and I think they would do this," and we'll just call them out. Yeah, we'll just call it out on social media. We'll do it for you.
Send us a picture of their car and their name, and we'll tag them in a post and call them out.
That could be fun.
Yeah,
we'll be pissed at us, and we'll be like, "Hey, your buddy freaking nominated you to be called out, man. Take it up with him."
Yeah, for sure. And one last thing about the Sprint is also it's free for one passenger, because so if you have a husband or wife or whatever, and you want to bring them a friend, it's free for a passenger. So I know, in the Speedway Boomerang and the Speedway Boomerang 2, we have to charge for the passengers because they get a lot of stuff that costs a lot of money too. But for this one, a passenger is free. So don't be afraid to bring somebody.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a good time. We're really excited about it. If you guys have any questions, reach out to us. Oh, one question that we've gotten more than we probably should, Nick. I'm going to poke you right in the face. Look at this. One question that we've gotten more than we should. People are taking the team names really seriously.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So Drake with his RT and Brody with his Dart, one's red, one's white. They're like, red, white, and who? Like, who's going to stop us? So they did that, and people were like, well, Brody, what the hell? You were supposed to be, Team Jam. And so then people started creating. It was like, I don't know, there was like this exodus. There was like this mutiny. There was like this overthrowing of team names and team captains and people making their own teams and stuff. And now there's new people, which we're really excited about, man. There's this guy with a challenger called the Outlaw that I've seen at like every car show. This guy's like a celebrity in a way.
He kind of
is.
Because
if you go to car shows, you just know who he is, even though you don't know who he is.
I remember the first time I went to one of the Cars and Coffees with you, we're walking around. I'm like, oh damn! I'm like, that thing's badass. I'm like, who's got the Outlaw? It is. It's like a celebrity thing, kind of with that guy. It's really freaking cool. So he's in, right, and he's Team Outlaw. But then what happened?
Yeah, so he's in, and he's the Outlaw. So he's Team Outlaw.
Yeah.
Well, then all of a sudden, everyone else starts posting their team names, and you know, Red, White, and Who had 2 cars. Well, then Paula, she was on the Boomerang. She jumped in and made a 3rd member of that team. And he's like, wait a minute. Like, I'm the only one on my team. Like, he's thinking this is like a tag team thing. Like, he's supposed to have a partner or something. And it's not like that. I can't stress it enough. Neither can Nick. It's not a race.
Right.
It's a rally. It's a scenic, spirited drive. These sprints, it's all about the scenery and enjoying the view, and it's going to be awesome. I promise you that. The team names, they create friendly competition. At the end of the day, we're all doing this together. At the end of the day, we're likely all from the same car club. And so don't overthink or don't sweat the team name. You don't have to have a tag team partner and all that. It just kind of creates this friendly competition because this team has 2 members. Well, this one added a 3rd car. Now this one's going to add a 3rd car too. It just kind of creates another layer of competition in it, and it's something cool. But you don't get anything special for your team name. You don't get anything that has your team name on it. It's just how you want to be identified at the rally.
There is literally absolutely zero benefit to being on a team with 40 people versus a team by yourself. Other than right now, we've got a bunch of teams with 2. We've got 2 teams that have 3 people, Team 4-Door Mafia and Team Red, White, and Who. So what kind of sparked this was I made a post on our Facebook, and I said, we've got these 2 teams with 3. Who's going to have the biggest roster for the sprint? And, you know, Brody, ultra competitive Brody, he's already gone to Facebook and Instagram and anywhere else he can get and try to recruit people for his team.
Yeah,
but
he's recruiting as we speak.
It legitimately is just friendly competition. And hey, if you get there and you want to roll with another team and drive up together, cool, do it. If you're on a team with somebody and you think, I kind of want to go with those people, do it. It did no big deal. It's just
and that's
fun.
a good point. Maybe you just made me think of something. Maybe people are thinking like we're gonna, I don't know, dismiss people by teams. Like this team's gonna roll out first, and then this team, and that's not the case at all. I mean, what you're gonna find is unfortunately there's gonna be people driving like a bat out of hell. You know, there's gonna be people that are just very out for a really relaxing drive, and then there's gonna be kind of middle of the road people that are out to kind of have a little bit of a spirited drive and have some fun. And you're going to find that no matter what team name you're going by, you're going to drive with like-minded drivers.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to drive around people that want to go the same speed, that are about as aggressive or as relaxed on the roads as you are and stuff like that. So don't overthink the team names. It's just a way to identify. It's just another way to beat your chest and brag and huff and puff and all that. It's just friendly competition. So we're all out there to have fun, but it's close to selling out. So if you're in and you've got someone that is sitting on the fence, get them in before Kevin gets more trucks in there, honestly, because honestly, Kevin's bullying you guys off the boat right now.
That's right. All right. That's all I had for this one.
I was going to say I'm out of tea, so we need to wrap this up.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, like us on Facebook, like us on Instagram. We have event pages set up for Sprint 1, for Speedway Boomerang 2. And as soon as you see posts about Sprint 1 sold out, Sprint 2 is going to be up for sale, and we're going to make an event for that. So if you are going on the Sprint 1, go to the Facebook page, go to the event, and like it, and say you were going. Because right now there's only like 3 people that say they're going. We've got way more than 3 people signed up. So just make sure you're following all the right stuff if you can.
Yeah, Nick, the tea, we got to go.
Yeah, I'm out of water. So all right,
peace.